shekalim25. Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Ba'ama shel shisha tefachim maya aron os. It was made with amma shel shisha tefachim. Man tan of amma shel shisha tefachim. And made that none of made oim kol amas like bein noyes. According to Rabbi all the amas in Mr. Mikdash were not small amas. They were bein noyes. That means amma of 6 tefachim. Vida oim Vida says no. Amas habinyan depends which amas you're talking about. The amas of buildings are b'shisha, shisha. However, shekalim25. הדאית der mehr die arme Baum shel shishat tfach mehr nasu ok shel arme khmishat tfach siv am tsaim v'chitzak am shit am sa shit we have 2 amas, that's 12 tfach pagas am sa tlos we have 15 tfachim, the length of the arm abal luch sai bash nem shleim shtem shmuni siv ash bat mit samt arm according to mehr both the shiva luchas and the luchas were in the same arm, and a luch sai ok shishat tfach if you give them to the length of the arm, it's remaining so according to the made this, besides the luchas, the shiva luchas, there was also the Sefer Torah that was inside the arm. That was the extra 2 tefachim, because we have here in the length, we have 15, and then the luchas are 12, and then we take away a tefach for each, so we still have 2 tefachim left over. Shloisha tefachim, chatzi tefach chol koisel, is 2 tefachim, only half a tefach for each koisel. Now we're going to measure the width of the arm. The reichim of the arm. It's interesting to note, it's a side note, that the arm was the way it was in the Kodesh Kodeshim was the oirich was to the reichim shel bayis. The Gemara says it somewhere else because the bottom was sticking out, so such a way that with all the kelim with the ark from the ark shel bayis. Here the oirich was the reichim shel bayis. It's just a side note. So the width of the aron is 9 tefachim. So now we take the luchas. We need to have 6 because we have 2 luchas. Rach b'shel luchas is 6 tefachim. Rach b'shel aron. The shtay rusham shloisha tefachim. So it's interesting to note that the shiva luchas and luchas were not on top of each other; they were flat next to each other. Because here we see that the oirich had the 12, and then the reichav had 6. So it's enough for everything to lay flat. Each luach was 6 by 3, and then we have the reichav. So this is the 6 tefachim for the 2 luchas. So we have 3 tefachim. Chatzi tefach, same like before. The width of each wall is half a tefach. With the chayim, the shilot aver. So it comes out that there was tefachim in 2 areas. First of all, the length had 2 tefachim empty, and also the width. So that's why I wrote it was like a T shape, and it seems that there was in both. It doesn't say where they put it, if in which space. There was space in between the 2 things, and also between the wall. So it's not so clear where shilat makom shtei v'toyim minach. It would be more better not to be going with shilat aver. Tefachim Malkum Shetei B'Toyim Melech. The Shilot, it says later on. So I'm going to erase this because this doesn't belong here to Chaim. Malkum Shetei B'Toyim Melech. Okay, now we'll go to Rabbi Yehuda Shitta. Shimon Shama, he can explain Rabbi Yehuda Shitta. He says that Amma was 5 tefachim. Man Tana was Rabbi Yehuda. Tanina Tama Yehuda Amma was Ben Yachishisha Bain Aron Kele. That's Rabbi Yehuda the Amma Kamisha tefachim. Arkoi Shal also Shneim also tefachim. According to him, the Aron only had 12 and a half tefachim, the length of the Aron. Chsiv Amasayim v'Chetzi Arkei Amsa Chamachsha Amsa Chai Pelgus Amsa Terei Pelgus. So we have here 12 and a half tefachim, the length of the Aron. Same thing as before. Same like before. 10 arcs looks like So here we already 12 tefachim for the luchas, and the aron is only 12 and a half. So we only have exactly a half a tefach for each wall. We go here that a tefach is 4 etzbos. It's 4 goodland. So it means that a half a tefach is 2 etzbos. So this is, according to Yehuda, it fitted snugly in. There's no extra room because it took up the 12 tefachim, took up the whole. The luchas took up 12 tefachim. Now we go to the width. Rav shel aron shiva tefachim mechzel sib amma v'chetz rav amsa chamsha. Palgus amsa trei palik. That looks like luchas koi kol echad. Arkan luchas hoya kol echad arkan shish lachar jemuten rachban. Rachban shel aron. So here, a little bit better than before, because here we have 6, and we have 7.5. So we have actually 1.5 tefachim extra. So what we do is again the same thing. We take a half a tefach for the 2 walls, and we still have 2 tefachim. Again, we have 7.5. So we have 1 tefach, the shilot aver. There's no sefer Torah, but it's good enough to make some. It should be some kind of air in between the luach and the wall. So this is a shilot aver. You only go by Rabbi Yehuda. According to Rabbi Meir, there's no shilot aver. There was a sefer Torah actually in the 2 tefachim. Question is the 2 tefachim from the length or the width. So we have. I guess we can decide whichever way we want. How did he make the arm? He made it 3 separate. Rashi brings down a chumash that there was 3 separate boxes. Shtaim shel zog, va'achar shel eitz. Nazar shel zog shel eitz shel zog tzipor chsiv tzisad matam tzapenu lahobi tzifasay al yoyna. You covered up since there was the box had the wooden box had 2 boxes inside, outside and inside. Needed extra covering for the thickness. No, he says no. There was only 1 box. There's 1 box. He just put plates of gold in it. The Havi Bein Neser LeNeser. So they're made from a few Nesarim, the walls. So between each Neser, they put gold. But not that you don't know Sfasel Yoina because it's not just one. It's you're putting a plate of gold, so there's no sofa here. It's not a box of gold that you need to put something on top by the thickness. So it's basically just you need to have a Bein Neser LeNeser. That's the river of the Tapen. Kate the Luch Suver. Flina ben Galil I'm Hamisha Luch Ze, Hamisha Luch Ze. I don't see the Yitam Shnei Luch Sabanim. Hamisha Luch Ze, Hamisha Luch Ze. That's how it was. On each luch there was 5 dibros. One amre, one to say no. Asara luch there were 10 dibros on each luch. Each luch had a certain one. No, Esma luch there, Esma luch there, ich tue mir schnell luch there. Esma luch there, Esma luch there. Ich tue means he wrote them twice. So it means of Esma. So I'm a boy luch there, so mezem ksum. They were written from both sides. So he learned mezem means from all the 4 sides. Tatruga from 4 sides. So it was thickness. The luch has a certain thickness also. It was written from all the 4 sides. There was written the Aseret Adim. So each luch had 40 dibros. Every side there was a Aseret Adim. According to the first Tashit, it was just 20 on each luch. Esma luch there because each side had 10. Maybe Dashan al Shnei twice on each luach. Al Shnei luchos. Shnei means Shnei pa'amim. Okay. Hananya ben Achiev Zhu Oimer. Ben Kol Dibber Digdikeo. Between each dibber the Digdikeo was the essential Torah Siv. Melom Ketarshish. Melom Batarshish. Kayam Rabba. The name of the river is called Tarshish. Ashbalka the mother den Kaya Oma Yovim dem Doni Hananya ben Achiev Habishia. Ma Ayam Azet ben Gal Tanan Kapin. Ibbe de Wish is is Kashis from the Pinchas. Kermei Nicha. Can you the Kash Echnas Nosen. Where is the Sefer Torah? According there was no room for Sefer Torah. If you come to the sky or Osir Lechutz, or Sefer Torah Nosen V'Sefer, there was a certain case outside. Tam der Yehuda Siv L'Koich Sefer Torah. This not Ois Matzad Remis Hashem. You see, it wasn't the side. Tam der Mech Siv Tzata Sefer Peresel Arm L'Amash unto the Seilus. It seems that both were in the Arn. The Gemara says one problem that this pasuk is the problem according to Rav Meir. That Rav Meir the Omer and Migim Torah. You have to say that ain't Migim Torah. Because after putting the kapayris, you can't put in the Sefer Torah anymore. So you must say according to him, first aren't it edus, first you put in the Sefer Torah in the Aron, and then you cover it up. These words, I don't know what it means, so everybody should be touched up his way. Sag the Mishnah. So it says that the Masakin 13 tachvoyas in the Beis Hamikdash. Where was these 13 tachvoyas? I must explain. Arba b'tzofan, 4 of them was tzofan side. You would pass the tzofan side of the sha'arim. We'll see soon where the 4 were. Arba b'darim, shalosh b'mizrach, shtayim b'mayrev, kneged shalosh eser sha'arim. So these were the ashtachvois when you pass these sha'ar. Who explains? These were the ones that were darm, close to Ma'ariv. These 4 sha'arim that came into the Azar. Next, the Muslim itself and Tzaf inside there was also Shah Nechanya, Shah Akov, Shah Anoshim, Shah Shir, Noshim, Shah Chanya, Shabo Yotz Nechanya Galus. Shaba Mizrach, the Mizrach of the Azar, there was 2 Shah, there was on Shah, Shah Nikana. They pitched there was 2 tiny doors. Shah B'mai V'lo Hilem Shem. Mas Nisna B'Yosef B'Yoichan. The Oma can give him Sha'ar, the Rabbanan say Shiva Sha'ar Moyu. There's only 7 shar, so there's no 13. So why the 13 tachvoyas? That giving them process hoyer parts and machi so it has to do something else. There was 13 process, and this has to do with the soyreg, that was not in the Zor, much before the Zor. They had 13 process, and they were going there. That's what they were massacring 13 tachvoyas. I guess when they went through all these 13 process. Okay, I think the next we'll say for the next. It's already 15 minutes up.